Hi and welcome guys, Castle Kingside here. Today we have another great game on our hands. This one was played between Emil Joseph Diemer, who was playing with white, and Thomas Healing, who was playing with black pieces. Why this game went into chess history? Simply because the white decided to break every single principle of the chess opening, and he managed to develop his first piece in the 18th move. So yeah, that's why this game was so fun, and I hope you will enjoy it as much as I did. Let's go straight into the game. The game started with d4 for the Diemer and knight f6 for the black. f3 was played here for the white, the usual idea to push this pawn on e4, and d6 for the black. Now in the game e4 was played, and now black decided to play g6. In this position, if the white decided to play c4, the black would play bishop g7, and this would transpire into King's Indian defense. Of course, this wasn't played, as this is one of the most iconic games ever played, so the white decided to play g4, already avoiding the chess theory, so to speak. The black decided to play bishop g7, a regular developing move since he already moved his pawn on g6, and the white continued with g5, putting the pressure on this knight. There is not so many good options for this knight to go, but to remove it back. Knight f to d7 was played, and the white continues with f4, still trying to put pressure on the center, advancing his pawns. The black in this position decided to play c5. Right now he's asking white what will he do with this pawn because it's under attack. In this position the white decided to block the center with the move d5. The black decided to respond with b5, trying to expand his center position and trying to gain more space. Of course, the black played c3. The game continued with a6 for the black, trying to leave some space for this bishop and maybe later for this knight when the field on d7 is freed up. h4 was played for the white. This is already a ninth move of the game. The black decided to play knight b6. It's a good move, trying to develop his other knight and this bishop to b7, or at least trying to do some damage on this open diagonal with the black bishop. The white doesn't care about that and he plays h5. Black responds with e6. Now already the computer says that white has a better position, believe it or not, a little bit but not so much. The game continued with h6, so still nothing was taken here, and white just keeps advancing with his pawns, and right now this bishop is under attack, so there is no many options for this bishop. The only move is bishop f8, and right now Diemer continues with a4. We are in 12th move and still not a single piece was touched by the white. As you can see, only pawns are moving on the board. It's incredible, really. So in this position, black decides to take this pawn, and a5 was played for the white. So for now, this pawn is left hanging, and white decides to push even further in the black position. Knight 6 on d7. The knight has to go back after this move, and now white retakes this pawn. Bishop e7 was played in this position, so the black has the idea to at least try to develop something, maybe castle, but right now it's a bit risky because there is a lot of holes on this black diagonal here. So for now that's the only idea for black to try and do something with this position. c4 was played for the white. So right now the white still continues to push his pawns, and he wants to develop his first piece after and if this pawn is taken. f6 was played for the black, so right now he's trying to remove this pressure. This pawn is almost hanging here, not almost, but yeah, this pawn is hanging, so right now the white has to respond somehow. Diemer decides to play c takes on b5, f takes on g5, and f5. So the white is refusing to take this pawn, and he's still continuing to advance with his f pawn. G takes on f5, he gives this pawn for free. But what follows is queen h5 check. And this is the 18th move, and this is the first developing move of white in this position, believe it or not. So the king cannot protect it with any piece, so the king has to move on f8. And now the white continues with knight f3. Computer says in this position the black is doing better, believe it or not, although the position looks really unusual because it was just unusual play by the white. The black is doing better, and right now the best move for black is knight f6 here, recommended by the computer. For now the black decides not to do that, and he plays rook g8. b6 was played for the white. So the white just continues with the advance of his pawns. Still one piece is only, two pieces if you count this queen, are developed. The rest of them is just pawns pushing and advancing towards the end of the black. After this move, bishop b7 was played, trying to develop a piece and trying to put pressure on the d5 pawn. A logical move, but right now knight c3 was played. Now the computer says that white is a little bit better, nothing too much. The black has the material advantage, but the white has the initiative. Although there is not enough pieces developed, the white still has a better position because his king is safer. Knight f6 was played, which is a good move, and now knight g5 was played. A great move by white, because right now there is a checkmate threat here, and if the black decides to take this queen, there is a beautiful knight e6 fork. So this was the only move for black in this position. He had to do it. Knight takes on h5 and knight e6 check. King goes on e8. Knight takes on d8. So right now they have equal material, but the white has a huge advantage in the initiative in this position. Knight g3 was played, trying to fork this bishop and this rook. Knight takes on b7, so the white decides to take this black bishop. He doesn't care about his rook. Of course, black takes the white rook, and bishop f4 was played, now trying to put pressure on this weak pawn here. Rook g6 was played with the idea to protect this vulnerable pawn, and right now castle queenside was played for the white. So in the 27th move, the white decided to castle his king. Knight f2 was played, and right now trying to attack this white rook on d1. Rook e1 was played, pinning this bishop on e7. King has to go on d7, and at this position already the computer evaluates this is a huge advantage by white in this position. After king d7, white finds another amazing move, knight b5, putting even more pressure on this pawn, and unfortunately for black this knight cannot be taken. We will show you why. If black decides to take this knight, then what follows is bishop b5 check, king c8, and rook takes on e7. The checkmate is inevitable. The black has a few options to just prolong this checkmate, but there is nothing good he can play in this position. For example, if the black decides to play knight d7, then there is a rook e8 check, king takes on b7, a rook c6 check, king a6, and rook takes on a8 with a checkmate. If in this position the black, instead of moving this knight, maybe the black can try and move his rook to g8, then there is a rook c7 checkmate. So already the black is in a really bad position. So right now after knight b5, the black decided to protect this vulnerable pawn on d6 by playing knight e4. And now Diemer decides to sacrifice his rook for this knight. Rook takes on e4, an amazing move. Right now taking this rook is not an option because this would lead to a devastating attack on the black king. I will show you right now what will happen if the black decided to take this rook. Bishop h3 would first follow with a check, then king is forced to go on e8. Knight c7 check, a beautiful fork now attacking the black rook as well. King f7, bishop e6 check, king f8, a best move in this position. Knight takes on d6, e3 for the black, king d1, bishop g5, bishop takes on g5, rook takes on g5, and knight takes on a8. And this position is completely won for the white. So that is the reason why taking this rook was not an option. That is why in this position black decided to play rook g1, attacking this bishop, which is now pinned, and at least trying to remove this as a threat from this very nasty diagonal. So the white played rook e1, rook takes on f1, rook takes on f1, and now a takes on b5. So at least for black this is a little bit of breathing space. So that's the reason why this was played. Rook g1, king c8, knight takes on d6 with a check, bishop takes on d6, bishop takes on d6. After knight d7 this position is collapsing for the black. There's not much he can do here. Even if all the pieces are removed from the board, this is a still losing endgame for black, as white has this beautiful b6 passed pawn and there's nothing black can do. White can only now simplify the position by removing the pieces and slowly winning this game. Rook g8 check is what followed, king b7, rook g7 now attacking this pawn and attacking this knight as well, which is now pinned. King c8 was played, knight takes on h7, another passed pawn from this side, rook takes on a5, b7 check, king takes on b7, rook takes on d7 with a check, king c8 was played, and now h7 for white, already preparing this new queen to promote. Rook a1 with a check, king c2, king takes on d7, h8 with the promotion of a queen, king takes on d6, queen d8 check, king e5 was played, d6, and in this position the black decided to surrender this game, as there is not enough material for black to win this endgame. So this was all for today's game. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. As you saw, this is one of the craziest games ever. So even though white decided to break every single principle of the chest opening, he somehow won the game. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a comment, like and subscribe. This would mean a lot to me as I'm trying to grow my channel, and we will see each other in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.